We're live! Hello, and we're slightly late again, but we didn't have the technical issues we had last time, so we're happy with that.
No, I shut everything down and I let it for about 10 minutes.
Right.
Before then we logged on and stuff like that. I had a couple of programs open. I feel like every time I've got the editing app open,
No, of course,
it slows everything down.
So we may have had a little problem there, and now you will notice I'm doing ginger beer today, and Kelly's doing her
J2O Spritz.
We were so busy doing other things that, of course, we forgot to order the drink. So it's far too late now because all the local Starbucks and Costas are shut. So we've gone for our little what's in the fridge, but still nice nonetheless.
Yeah, and it's a nice day. And if I wasn't caught up doing other things, so I was doing a couple of things for my mum, and then I was so basically I've been thinking about doing I wanted to do a mock version of the platinum pudding. So the platinum jubilee pudding.
Yes, I know.
So so just before we came on, I got caught up on a Tesco order which is coming tomorrow. So we've got an M&S order coming to at 7 because so basically I was ordering all this stuff, and it's my bestie Evelyn. It's her birthday on Thursday, so I needed
happy birthday for Thursday.
Happy birthday for Thursday. It's my cousin's birthday today. There's so many people in May's birthday. So basically I had to order some things, and I thought I'll order an M&S order, but I completely forgot we were doing the live tonight. I don't know what happened, but it just went out of my mind that we were doing the live tonight. And so I ordered the shop. I needed the shop to come as close to Thursday as possible, date wise for food, because sometimes they don't give you the correct dates and things like that. And so it's my intention to maybe do a barbecue or something like that on Thursday. So I've ordered some stuff and everything else, and had the shopping for tonight. And the M&S shopping is coming between 7 and 8. So when the doorbell rings, Mark's going to run downstairs and then just put everything that needs to be in the fridge. There's only one item that needs to be in the freezer, and I'm excited about that item. Haagen-Dazs are doing 2 new flavors. Well, in the big pots, they are doing some of the little pots, a couple of the duos, which will be coming in tomorrow shopping, which I've ordered for Mark. But excuse me, this one is a mojito one, which is out of stock, so I can't get the mojito. But I've got a friend Rachel, and she absolutely loves mojitos. And then I've got another one, which is pina colada, and I absolutely love pina colada.
So these are 2 Haagen-Dazs versions that you will be able to see. We shall show them to you, hopefully, if there's any left by the next live. Actually, it could be our recommendation of the week, so we will hold on the recommendation of the week this week until the Haagen-Dazs turns up.
Until the Haagen-Dazs turns up. So that is coming between 7 and 8. So as Mark can shove everything in the fridge, and then the ice cream in the freezer, and then you can rejoin us.
Very long-winded way of telling us that I'll be disappearing at 7 o'clock.
Well, whenever the doorbell rings, it could come at 7:30.
That could be good now. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I always do that because basically our front window is just there. So
yeah.
At the front.
So yeah, and so yeah, so I'm excited to try the pina colada. Pina colada is my favorite cocktail, my absolute favorite cocktail. So I am really glad that. Because years ago, they did a Malibu and pineapple one. They did, at the same time, they did a Bailey's one and a Malibu and pineapple one. And the Bailey's one took off, but the Malibu and pineapple one didn't.
So these are new Haagen-Dazs flavors that have just been introduced. The mojito and the pina colada version as well. So that we will try them as well. Just been launched in the UK. For any American viewers, will probably be, hang on a minute, we've had them for years. You probably have. We just don't have decent flavors here in the UK. I've moaned about this before, but we're really looking forward to seeing you're looking forward to trying these ones as well, and just to see what it's like. As always, we'd like to do recommendations of the week, as you know, so these will be ones we will be trying and testing. We're also going to do we've got our videos lined up as well. You're editing one at the moment for my birthday. Now, as I mentioned previously before, with my birthday, I went to Rosa Pomodoro, which is one of the Italian restaurant or chain of Italian restaurants in London. There only seem to be,
I think there's about four. I think four or
four,
maybe.
And there also just seem to be in central London.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys will enjoy that, and it will give you an idea of what they have on offer. I do recommend, if you are in central London, Rosa Pomodoro, and you like pizza, of course, it's one of the nicer chains that I've tried.
It is pricey. So just to let you know, it's not a, one of those. I mean, the pizzas are quite sizable.
Yeah, they are.
I think, but it is pricey. So bear that in mind when you go. But everything in London
is pretty much pricey. Well, funny enough, so we did a little tour around Seven Dials on my birthday. And funny enough, as we were going down sort of the back streets and the back alleys, we did come across a pizza place, and I wish we wrote down the name. They did a ginormous pizza. Now, again, expensive. It's £24 for a pizza. That's big, but it's a huge pizza. It's ginormous. So if you come from outside London, you're thinking, well, we get large ones for the same price. But London is, you expect to pay a very high premium for those types of pizza. But I really wish we got the name of it. I will do some little Googling, and we shall try and find out what the name of that pizza is.
If you want a more reasonably priced pizza, which is quite, I thought it was quite decent. It's not the best pizza, but it's all right. Pizza Union. You've not had Pizza Union
I've not tried Pizza
and
Union.
it is quite good. But it's all right for the price. I think it's the last time I went, and you're talking pre-pandemic. It was about £10. I did do a little video on it, so it is somewhere in the videos where I did do a little video on Pizza Union. And it's quite cool. You order it. By the time you finish ordering it, you don't have to wait that long, and then you just go up and collect your pizza. It's really good.
Now, the other one we have mentioned before is Japes. So Japes is in Soho in central London as well. Now, when you get Japes, the pizzas are quite small. Now, when I got that, I must admit, when I saw it, I was disappointed. However, they are extremely thick. Now, when you bite into it, it's almost like a pizza pie. It's a ginormous sized pizza. I love the fact that it's got obviously the high walls, and it contains so much stuff. Yeah. I was actually stuffed. I thought I thought I'm getting full. There's no way I'm going to be full on a pizza this size.
Yeah.
But it's got so many fillings in. That's why I call it a pizza pie. It's like having a pizza and a pie. It's just so thick. So if you are in Soho, Japes is one to try. We have filmed it a while ago. We must put that. I will
put it up. What's causing me problems is the music, but the music in there is like so loud.
Yeah.
The thing with the black, because we did the Black Clock one, and I was speaking to my sister-in-law about it, and she was saying that she could hardly hear us because obviously the music was so loud.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I had to put music on top of it as well because of the restrictions and things like that. So I'm having a little bit of problems with Japes. So I think I've kind of found a way to get around it, I think.
Well, if not, what we might have to do, give me a good excuse to go back to Japes, is go back there and do it outside. So one of the other things we thought, so we do have this problem, unfortunately, when Kelly and I do food reviews, is if we go into a restaurant, they normally pump loud music. Now, as soon as it's a recognised tune, YouTube won't have it, so we get into trouble.
Hey, Richard.
Richard, hello. How are you? You all right? Been looking at your little clues that you've been getting on, or your little underground signs? Oh, we've got somebody new. Karthik S. Reddy. Do you like Indian cuisine? What's the Indian restaurant you liked? Thank you for joining us. Hello.
We hope you're well.
Yes. Now, that's a very good question. So, do you like Indian cuisine? Kelly and I love Indian cuisine.
Yes, we do.
And we have, actual fact, so what Indian restaurant do you like? Now, we've gone to several. Let's talk Indian restaurants, because that's a very good question. So one of the things we like to do on these things is answer your questions. So we'll go through some of the ones we have reviewed and some of the ones we haven't yet, but what we've done is just our personal opinion on them. So Masala Zone was one we tried in London, which we thought was okay. The Peshwari naan is the best Peshwari naan I've ever had.
I think so, yeah. The problem with Masala Zone, I do feel that they are overpriced, and they're very I don't find them as welcoming as some of the other restaurants.
It's very, it was, but we haven't been there for a while, so this was pre-pandemic. So there's that one. We have done Dishoom. You may have seen our Dishoom video. We really enjoyed. Hey, Evelyn, hola, how are you? So we have done Dishoom. We really enjoyed Dishoom. So we went to the one in King's Cross, but there are many around. That one was delicious. Really enjoyed it. You love the lamb samosas.
Oh,
absolutely adored the
other than my granddad's samosas, because I have to say, bless him, he's no longer with us. But my granddad's samosas were the best samosas that I think I've ever tasted. And I've got to say, Dishoom, I really like their lamb samosas.
There was that there. Plus, as well, the black dal. Dishoom do their signature black dal. Now, if you go in the morning to Dishoom, they do porridge, and they do unlimited porridge. So they do breakfast. It's one of the only Indian restaurants I've seen that does breakfast. Most tend to do sort of obviously lunch and dinner, but Dishoom do breakfast. That was another good one we went to.
We did do a video on Dishoom, so yeah, it's quite a bit further back. When did we go? Did we go last year? We went last year, didn't we? We went last year because somebody said, would we try?
Yeah, somebody asked us to do Dishoom, so we did Dishoom.
No, someone asked us to try do an Indian restaurant.
Oh, right, to do an Indian restaurant.
And then I Googled, and then I said, let's go to Dishoom.
Richard said, I have to eat now, Mark and Kelly. You made me hungry. All right, you go eat. Come back, though, please.
Or join us while you're eating.
Yeah, because we do want to ask you some questions about your channel. There was that. And then, of course, the other restaurants. There's quite a few local ones near us that we've tried, which are very, very good. I'm just trying to think of some of the other chains that we've done.
There was one that used to be local to us, and it won awards. And I think it's probably one of the best Indian restaurants that I've been to. And it's unfortunate we didn't do a video on it, really. But they changed over hands, and the food wasn't as good. I think they may have changed over hands again. But the original owners, the food was really good.
Yeah, so that was South Indian, that restaurant as well. There is a Gurkhanese. I thought, what's the term? Gurkha. It's a Gurkha restaurant near us, a Nepalese restaurant, which is not too bad. So we've tried that as well. And I forget which region. Is it Bombay that Dishoom is?
Dishoom's Bombay.
Dishoom is Bombay. So that was really, really nice as well. So I do like from different regions, I have to say, unless I'm just trying to think another restaurant we went to. Did we go to Gaylord's in central London?
No.
I'm sure I must have gone with somebody else. But that one was really nice as well. That is pricey, but that was a really nice restaurant. So that was our ones that we've tried. Is there one that you like, and is there one you could recommend for us to try?
I went to one in Covent Garden one time. I went with a friend, and it's very near Acre. Do they call it Acre Lane? It's in Covent Garden. I forget that it's called Acre something, and I forget if it's called Acre Street or Acre Lane, or because there's one in Brixton, and I'm thinking, is the one in Brixton called Acre Lane? But it's like Acre Road, or it's Acre something anyway. And it's very close to Covent Garden Tube Station, and it was overpriced. And you know, if the cuisine is good, or if the cuisine is spectacular, I don't mind paying like if it's just a bit more than what you would normally spend. But this restaurant was not worth it. It was not worth it. It was expensive for no reason.
So Karthik, so Richard said, I'm eating now. Pasta and special sauce. It's secret. Oh, special sauce. It's secret. All right. Okay. All right. Fish without the grey bit on it. That part of the fish makes you feel funny. Is it the skin you don't like? I love the skin. If you crisp the skin up, but I know what you mean. What I don't like with the skin is when it's soggy. It hasn't been crisped up. That's all like a slimy bit. Karthik has said, sure, I'll note that and visit Dishoom. Thank you.
Yeah, Dishoom's
now Dishoom. What I will say about Dishoom: be careful when you go. Try if you can. It's very, very, very popular. So the thing is with Dishoom, especially if you go during the week. So they do bookings. Try and get a booking if you can. They do walk-ins, but be warned: if you do a walk-in after 5, you will be waiting for up to an hour. You can wait an hour and 20 minutes. So myself and some work colleagues, we said, "Oh, that's what we'll do walk-ins." I was queuing up. We queued for.
I was shocked that they were going to do a
walk-in. 45 minutes we queued for. Now that's not too bad. What's nice is that in the winter they do actually come down the line, and there's a huge queue down the line. And they do give you drinks, so they give you free chai and stuff like that, which is quite nice when you're waiting. But just do bear that in mind. It is phenomenally busy, Dishoom. But Kelly and I would recommend Dishoom. It was really nice dishes, small dishes, so not expecting a huge buffet type thing as well, but it's very, very nice.
And I highly recommend, as Mark said, to make a booking. Make sure you make a reservation.
Yes.
There is one in Covent Garden and there's one in King's Cross. I've seen the both of them. I think there's one in Shoreditch as well, I believe, and there might be one in Knightsbridge, I think. But I've only ever been to the one at King's Cross, and I've seen the one in Covent Garden. It's in the Covent Garden Yards, I think they call it. Something yards, and it's in there, and it's a very nice. Where the one in Covent Garden is, it's a little bit tucked away, but it's quite nice where it is.
There you go. So there's a little recommendation for us to you. If you do have any recommendations that you would recommend to us, recommendations, please do let us know, because we do like to look for new restaurants, and we do actually, in fact, a lot of the suggestions you guys do put forward, we do try and get to if we can. Sometimes we have had a few invites to Leeds and Birmingham to try some stuff, so when we get a chance, we will try and get down there, or up there I should say, and try some restaurants out. So Rich has said, my worst place I ate was at a pub down the bottom of our road in New North Road in Hainholt. I wait for an hour for a meal, an hour for dessert. So do you know what? That's the thing that's annoying. If you have to wait a long time, you can kind of understand it if the restaurant's very, very busy. But if there's no one in there or it's very empty, that's just, I don't know. I think, what's the chef doing? But yeah, waiting an hour for food is for me is a big no-no. Yeah, because you go there hungry.
I think there's been a couple of restaurants that I've been to. Like, we went to, what's the one that me and Lorenzo went to? The Duck and Waffle. So I went to the Duck and Waffle, and I got there. And
people that don't know, where's the Duck and Waffle?
It's in Liverpool Street.
Yeah,
I think it's in the Heron Tower actually. So if you're ever going to the Duck and Waffle, Eataly is just up the way. I've done a video on Eataly and the Duck and Waffle. Well worth going to see. But my only bugbear with Duck and Waffle, and the people are so nice there, it's super nice, lovely service and everything else, but their egg station had broken down or something like that. And I'm thinking, but everything, I wanted to try their confit duck, and they said, oh, we can do the duck leg, but we can't do the confit duck or whatever it was.
So Duck and Waffle is basically a posh version of the American chicken and waffle, essentially. You got a nice duck with the waffle.
Yes and no. It's a bit more upmarket than chicken and waffle.
No, that's what I said. It's like a posh version.
Yeah, of the it's very. Waffle. But and you got amazing views and stuff like that. You'll see in the video. But that was my bugbear with the Duck and Waffle on that day. So I would like to go back when everything's up and running. But I do feel that they should have let people know.
Yeah, I know.
Before you arrive at the restaurant.
So again, like I said, with a bit of luck, if you guys do decide to go, it won't be the same thing, and I'll have that up and running. But it's just one of those things. I think sometimes you do find that. Yeah. Richard said, "Oh, it wasn't busy. This is the pub, but the chef was busy dancing to metal music." Oh, brilliant! Did he have long hair? Was he sort of twiddling it around?
That is not someone I would want to be cooking my food.
That is funny.
If without a hairnet and stuff like that, I would think.
I'm just guessing he's got long hair because he's a metal fan. Mind you, I'm a metal fan, but you wouldn't tell with my hair.
Yeah, but you'd want him to be wearing a hairnet
if he has long hair. I'm just assuming he's got long hair. But that does sound funny. I think that's one of the things that you expect that sometimes with pubs. Are you guys a fan of the Wetherspoons? Talking of pubs, they are the cheap eats. I used to do. Myself and a friend at work, we used to go there all the time at lunchtime, not boozing, of course, but just for their lunchtime meals. But I was going to say, you forget how cheap they are. It used to be 2 pizzas for £7 along those lines. It was really, really good value. I don't know if they still do those deals anymore.
I don't mind Wetherspoons per se, The only thing I don't like about Wetherspoons, for me, is that there's no atmosphere. There's no ambience. That's the thing.
Well, you depend where you go. I mean, there's so many different types of.
Yeah, that's true. But I've been to a few because there's no music in any of them. That's what they're known for.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Is that there's no music?
We should do that for a review, actually, because we won't get the music doing over the top of it.
That's true.
So, is there a pub that you guys would recommend? Talking of pub food, that you would like that you could recommend for us to try, or is it just the fact that you like pub food, or is it not really your bag? You prefer to go to a better restaurant? Well, I say better restaurant, a different type of restaurant. We have eaten places, pubs, where they do nice food. I've got to say, so it really, especially independent pubs, because it will really depend on the pub itself.
Yeah, I think there's one that your parents go to that you quite like, isn't it?
Yes, there's one in the local town near. So my parents live in the West Country, and there's one there that's quite nice as well. We did discover the Lounge, which is very sort of that style, but the food there is really, really nice. They do fantastic. If you get a chance, it'll be called the Something Lounge. So the range of these sort of pub type things is called the Lounge.
Yeah.
And they are all over the UK. We have spotted a few in the West Country and a couple in London.
Yeah.
So do check those out because they are quite nice.
They're all over. Like, I think there's like Manchester and Birmingham, and it's always called the Something Lounge.
Now, Richard, that's a good point. Now, Richard's pointed out something which is very, very true. He said, I like Wetherspoons ales with a meal. There's a different ale each week. And that is true. They do a special each week. When I used to go with my friend, he would always go for the house ale. He'll have a look at the ales that are on and he'd try a different one each time.
Is it similar to the Fox and Firkin? Like, so the Fox and Firkin pubs, when you go to the different ones, they have a specialised ale that, well, for each pub has a specialised ale.
That's true. So the last one he called was dark, and it was called Jurassic. Have you tried any of the pudding ales? Because I have noticed they've done some ales now that taste of pudding. So there is a sticky toffee pudding one, and there are some others. I can't remember which ones they were, but they're a range of pudding ales. Just out of interest, if you went to those. Richard said this Sunday I'm going to a pie and mash in Greenwich, as pies are huge, and you have a choice. Whereabouts is that? Is that the pie and mash shop in Greenwich? As in pie and mash traditional East End food. Well, I'm assuming it is because it's pie and mash shop. And which one is it? Sahinas, hello.
Hey, Sahinas.
Good evening. Lots of love from Sahinas in India.
Oh, hi.
How are you? And how's the weather there? I've heard you've had absolute massive heat waves. I hope you're well. Hope everything's good.
Please send some our way of the heat wave.
Yes, please do. And apologies for last time. You just logged on as we were logging off. However, I'm glad you came on because I wanted to ask you, is it Sharbat, the drink that you made? That looked delicious. So the question I wanted to know was, when you boil your nuts, you boil the nuts, and then what you do is you turn them into a paste, and then you add that paste to the milk with custard powder. How long do you boil those nuts for? Because I was really interested to see how long you had to do that before you actually grind them down into that paste. So then you add that paste to the milk, and then you add your custard powder. And can you just use regular custard powder? So I'm just interested in your Sharbat. If you're interested in if I pronounce that properly, check out Sahinas's Sharbat recipe on her YouTube channel. Richard said, it's the marketplace in Greenwich, but be warned, Friday and Saturday and half term are very busy. It's very popular. And best of all, they sell merchandise. Oh, right. The marketplace in Greenwich. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's where we've been to the marketplace. They do like little artsy stores, and there's like a fruit and chocolate stall there where they drizzle chocolate on fruit, and they give you it in a little banana boat. Look.
Oh, yes. I know as well. The Greenwich Market. Yes, I do know now. I do know that. I've been there. We haven't been there for years, but we do know the Greenwich Market. All right. So Sina said boil it for 5 to 7 minutes.
Right.
Powder, and yes, use just regular powder to do that. Thank you. It looked delicious. 5 to 7. Yeah, I thought you meant minutes.
Yeah.
5 to 7 minutes, and then you'll just grate that into a paste, and then you add that to the milk, and then you add in your regular custard powder. It did look great. So you boil this up, and then you let it cool, and then you add ice to it, and then you drink that. So I did see your recipe. I've been meaning to leave a comment to say how nice it was, but I will leave a comment on there for your Sharbat. But look really, really, really good. So pie and mash. Now, funny enough, I went on YouTube the other day and I was looking at an American that tried different British foods. And he went to a traditional pie and mash store. And he was doing that as well. He trying the pie and mash. So we had the liquor, the mash on there as well. He loved it. But we haven't. We were going to go to pie and mash. Wasn't that in Rochester? Do you remember?
Yeah, in Rochester. Yeah. See, the thing is with me, I like pie and mash, but I never fancy pie and mash. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I like it, but I'm never in the mood to say, oh yeah, do you know what? Today I'm going to have pie and mash. I really fancy that. And I'm always fussy on my pies, because I feel like there's not a lot of places that do good pies.
Well, the pie and mash ones are all homemade, so they will be, and it mainly is traditionally mince, but they do other pies. Correct me if I'm wrong, Richard. I did look on YouTube, one traditional place in the East End, and this guy said he does do chicken and he does do mince, but he will do vegan ones, but he said they're to order. He said, I don't have them ready.
Yeah,
I've got to make them, especially because so few people
order
them.
Yeah, there won't be so many people that will eat vegan. But yeah, I'm never in them. I have to be. There are some foods that I like, but I'm never in the mood to have them. But then when I'm eating them, I enjoy it, but I'm never in the mood. So like now that you've mentioned pie and mash to me, it's not in my mind. But my mum mentioned KFC to me last week, and that was on my mind, and I thought, oh my god, let me go and order that KFC. And so I ordered KFC, and stuff like that. So I think it will never be. I feel like pie and mash will never be one of those things. Like if I have to choose over pie and mash and sausage and mash, if the sausages are good, I think I would go for sausage and mash,
Right. So I'm going to come on to that, actually, your Egyptian bread in a second. So Richard said, if you're fussy on pies, Greenwich has lots of choice as the pie and mash and other things on the menu. Well, we will have to have a little check out of that as well. I'm going to come on to your Egyptian bread. But so Sahina said, thank you so much. She goes, I've changed my style of video the last 4 videos.
Yeah.
So we spotted that as well, because you're not talking on them now.
No, the last one she did, she was talking.
Yeah, sorry, not on that. Yeah, so you tend to have that. We do like listening to you talk, but I do like the style. Because you've got music over the top, and also as well, you've almost like got a bird's eye view.
Yeah, and you can see you sort of like the vegetables and all of that. Yeah.
So it is nice. I like both styles, but this new one I do like.
Yeah,
it does look good, and I think what's good as well, because you can see your hands as you prepare. Because funny enough, I spotted that when I was looking. Do tell me if I pronounce that right. Is it Sharbat? The Sharbat you made, the drink? And I found it, just from me, I found it easier to follow because I could see your hands and what you did.
Yeah.
So I could see you add the nuts. I could see you boil them. I see you add the milk, then the custard powder, then you ground it to the paste. So it looked good. Right. Egyptian bread. Now, Richard, we had a question for you about your Egyptian bread because it looked really, really good. What fruit did you use? Because in your video, you separated everything out as well, but you put some fruit in there. Was it mixed fruit, or was it just raisins, just sultanas, or just currants? And you did random shapes with your bread. Was that deliberate, or are you supposed to uniform them, or did you just fancy doing them in uniform, just out of interest as well?
Because he said, he's going to put them in funny shapes.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying on your video. You're going to put them in funny shapes. And it did look interesting.
Oh yeah.
But I'm thinking, when you left it in the oven, was that to prove? Is that why you left it in the oven? Because I think you left it in the oven overnight, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did. I think you left it overnight. So because that was the other question to prove. The oven was cold, wasn't it? That's what I just wanted to double check. You didn't leave it on overnight, because I didn't realize that I didn't realize this, but if you were to make your own clotted cream, you pour regular double cream or regular cream, thick cream, into a lasagna dish, and you put it in the oven at the absolute lowest temperature, and then that creates the clotted cream. But I'm assuming you didn't put the oven on overnight. You just let that prove in room temperature. Yeah. Richard also, yes, you can use mixed fruit, but you can use what you want.
Right.
It's shaped, otherwise it expands on the sides. Good evening, you lovely couple. Hello, Karen. How are you?
Hope you're well.
Lovely to see you. I hope you're good. And I hope you had a nice day. It's been a beautiful day here.
So nice.
Been so
nice.
So I hope you had a really, really good day. But yeah, Richard was just telling us about his Egyptian bread. Sahina said, thank you so much.
Oh.
No, good. And like I said, that was just the feedback I saw from doing your videos. It just looked really good and really clear. So I could see obviously we like to see your lovely face, but it was lovely to see how you made it, and it made it clear to follow.
Yeah.
So I could see you adding, like, for example, your custard powder and then adding a different ingredients. But yeah, really, really good. Yeah, so that was interesting about the Egyptian bread, as we were saying. So you can add anything. So as Richard check out his video on Egyptian bread.
So I am waiting for shopping because what I wanted to do was do some. I wanted to do some prep, and I also wanted to make a mock, the mock platinum pudding. So basically, if anybody watched the Jubilee, so there was a competition, and it was done in the Fortnum & Mason kitchen. I think we spoke about this in the last live.
Yeah, we did in the last live, yeah.
And the winner, when I saw the puddings before they even announced, right? So this was like, it started at 8, and this was about 8:30, and they were showing the pudding, and I thought that girl's got to win. Just the look of the pudding, I just thought that girl's got to win. That pudding looked on point. No, behold, she won. Anyway, so I saw a couple of things online, because obviously people have now gone and tried to make the pudding, and it's like really like finicky, because the problem is bless the girl who won, she made everything from scratch. So she made her own amaretti biscuits, she made her own curd, she made her own custard, she made her own jelly, she made her own Swiss rolls. It was crazy. To make your own curd as well is just a madness.
I mean, that is really, really difficult to make your own curd. Richard said, my Indian friend, I let him try. He ate all the Egyptian bread in seconds with mouthful. He said, yummy, make more. Oh, was that your friend? He bought you the Beano annual on your birthday. Was that? I think I remember watching your video on your birthday, and I think he bought you a Beano annual. If that's the same guy. Karen said, oh, it's been really lovely today. I've not been feeling too good, normal aches and pains. Oh, sorry to hear that, Karen. I'm hoping that the hot weather will help with that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I have bad knees, but yeah, I've just been sort of like elevating. But I realise what I've been doing, which is worse, because like sometimes I'll be lying on the bed, because Mark will be downstairs. He was downstairs in the living room for quite a while working. And so I'd be upstairs, but I was sitting cross-legged, and then I was sitting like, so where I cross my legs, my knee goes that way, because that's generally how, you know, when you're laying on the bed cross-legged. And I only came to that realization a few days ago that that's what's been causing my sciatica.
Yeah, it can do that. Yeah.
Because obviously my leg's been at a weird angle. So it's really difficult, because I've been sitting downstairs and I've elevated my legs. But again, I want to cross them. And it takes extraordinary sort of like, no, you can't cross your legs, just, you know, thing. So it's been difficult in that. But I hope then that straightens out the sort of the thing that's been causing the sciatica.
Karen said, yes, it's your circulation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So thank you, Karen. Yeah, that's the thing. So when you know now, you've got to keep everything free.
Yeah, free, and not sit in weird angles. Because normally when you're at work, you're sitting down in a chair and you're doing whatever it is that you're doing and stuff like that, which you still have because you bought an office chair. So yeah, you're doing your thing.
Sahina said, Kelly, I saw you in your last video on the street market era. It's nice video.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Which was the street market? Oh yeah, that was the Rochester one.
That wasn't street market though, because we did South Bank and Borough.
Oh yeah, I know the one. Thank you, Sahina. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. Richard said, my Indian friend you don't see much of. Last time he vlogged with me, the video was comedy. My other Asian friend is Muslim. Right, okay. Right. I think it was your other friend that we saw there. But yeah, I'm glad he enjoyed your Egyptian bread. And is that your own recipe, or is that one you've got hold of from somewhere else? Because it looked quite nice, because it looked really simple to make. We will have to give that a go. Excuse me. Karen said, same as me. I've got arthritis and I've got a list, but hey, I won't bore you with it. Hi, Richard, she said.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? It's one of those things that I suppose as we get older, or maybe we are not treating ourselves correctly, or we're not doing things that we are supposed to, and things like that. So then all these little things creep in, and they slowly, until we adjust our behaviors, or until, turn back time, we just keep getting older, and we're not as kind to ourselves as we should be.
Do you know what? I will tell you a story very, very quickly. What really made me realize when I was old. So many years ago, I was in my mid-30s, and I was asked to play football for a team. And I thought, well, I'm still fit. I'm still fit for my age, very fit for my age. I was at the time. I used to do a lot of exercise. I still do now, but way more than I did. Anyway, so someone lobbed the ball up. This is playing football over there, and I ran to chase it, and I could hear somebody talking behind me. And this guy that on the opposition, not only did he run past me, he was on his mobile phone chatting to someone as he did. And I thought, right, that's it. That's it. I'm getting too old now. For somebody to be able to take a call and run and still beat me for pace, that was it. I knew I was old then. Richard said, horrible histories recipe. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, right, okay. Sahina said, Mark, just to say that the last full video I changed is easy to understand. Yeah, I would say that. Do you know what, Sahina? Actually, that's what Kelly and I had.
Visually, yeah.
What helps is as well, because it's, as Kelly said, it's a bird's eye view. So you're looking down.
Yeah.
I can see what you're doing with your hands.
Yeah. See you putting in things. Yeah. And it's just a lot clearer.
And what also helps is as well with your measurement. So, because what you'll do is you'll say get a bowl or a plate, and you'll move your ingredients in. So it also helps me because I can see what ingredients you need to add. So I thought it was very, very good. Really nice format. Don't get me wrong, the one you had before worked as well, because it's nice to see you and see you cook, but it's nice to see how you actually do. You get a big close-up of what you're doing.
But I think as we go along, when we're making videos and stuff, we tend to change form. Like if you watch one of our earlier videos to our videos now, they're not the same thing. Because we started vlogging in 2017.
Yes.
So although I was a member of YouTube from before that, we actually I think I was a member from 2013, but the actual vlogs I started was in 2017, and it was just watching other people. And at the time I just thought, oh, do you know what? It'd be really nice to vlog our holidays and stuff like that. So the little bits that we did were literally just little tips of what we were doing when we were in America, or of what we were doing when we were in Lanzarote, of what we were doing when we were in Vegas, what we do when we were in, Brussels or France. So it was just a case of doing those little things. And I think as time has gone on, we've done sort of longer videos because there's more to talk about.
Yeah.
When there's not so much to talk about, like some of our food videos, they might only be 12 minutes, or they might be 10 minutes, or some of them might be even 6 minutes. But it's just a quick shot to show you, okay, so this is what it is. This is what we're doing. This is how much it costs. Everything in London is pricey. Everything. I think when you live in any city, because I remember going to Canada, and Canada was so. I went to Toronto. I stayed in Toronto. But actually, though, when I went to Barcelona, I didn't consider it as expensive. But then again, I was only there for sort of like the day.
Well, that's it. If you're just doing a day trip, you don't really get to know the area that well.
Yeah, but Toronto, I was there for 3 weeks. And to do shopping and things like that, to eat out and all of that, it was really expensive.
Richard said today, I got myself a VHS film June. Oh, you got really? Right, okay. Is that must be the original? The original has got Patrick Stewart in it, and
in June.
Yeah, the original, and
Patrick Stewart. I thought it had Sting in it.
Sting's in it. I'm sure Patrick Stewart's in the original. And the guy from Twin Peaks, whose name always escapes me.
Oh, yeah, I know the guy.
Is it the original one? Because there is a remake with the guy we saw who played King Henry VIII. King Henry VII. King Henry V, sorry, even. Henry V. The guy, the Canadian actor, the French-Canadian actor.
Oh, I'm going to have a think now.
You watched it with me. Henry V.
Oh, Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, Timothée Chalamet's in the new version. But I'm wondering if you've got the original. If you've got VHS, it must be the original one.
Yeah.
Richard said the other day was waiting for a train and the lady on her phone walked past me so close. She headbutted you. My head hurt badly. She was dazzled despite saying sorry. It was not my fault. Do you know what? It's very easy to do that by mistake. The number of times people just, especially in London, people just barge past you. I've done this many times where I'll be talking to you and I say, yeah, it's over there. I go to point and somebody comes and smacks into your arm because they don't say excuse me, they just barge past you.
Yeah.
That's happened a lot. Sahina said, Mark and Kelly, maybe next time I'll do Ras Malai. It's easy to make. I will show. Oh, please do. Do you know what? I've been hoping that you'll do Ras Malai. Sahina's, I've really been looking forward to that, but I've not said anything because I know you're busy and you probably have.
You've probably planned.
Yeah, you planned your recipes there. But please, I would love if you do Ras Malai. I will really look forward to doing Ras Malai. Karen said, I think you have gained confidence the more you do your vlogs.
Oh, yeah, thank
Kelly,
you.
loving the ears tonight.
Do you know what? So we went to the Disney store, which we did vlog as well. We went to the one in, it's on Oxford Street, but it's the Bond Street end. And these ones I saw and I picked up. I bought 2 ears. And I really liked these ones. And these were the last ones left. So I picked these ones. There were 2 ears that I bought and they were the last ones that were on the rack. They had loads of ears, but these ones and the other ones that I bought, which I will wear it maybe in the next vlog, because I don't have it here, but those are the ones that I'll probably wear. But these ones are very similar to the ones that cost £180, the Loungefly ones.
So talking of which, Kelly and I, again, we will show this on our video. We went on my birthday to the Disney store in Oxford Circuit. Bond Street, isn't it?
It's Bond Street end. Oxford Street.
Oxford Street, but Bond Street end. Right. Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There are only 3 Disney stores now in the UK.
I think there's 3, yeah.
Only 3, and they're all in central London, all of them. So they used to have them in Bath. I think there was one in Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow. They've all shut. There's only the 3 there. So we wanted to show you, for anybody that's not able to get to central London, the Disney store.
I don't know, because I only Googled for London, so I don't know if there's any stores anywhere.
Right.
But I know that there are 3. There are only, because there was loads in London, because you had one in Covent Garden, you had one in all the sort of like little suburbs of London and all that, but there aren't any now because they've closed them in all the towns and everything.
Yeah, they have.
There was one in our local town, and I was there one week, and then the following week it was closed.
Well, they shut. I did Google this, and they shut a lot of them.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that they wanted to move to online just because it's cheaper. Online is always going to be cheaper because you don't need shop space and you don't need staff. So they have, obviously, they keep 3 flagships open. I am pretty confident there's only 3 in London, but if I am wrong, please do put it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know if there's any in Birmingham.
And I will stand corrected, and we will have to go and visit them just to do if there are any. But there used to be one in Bath, near my parents' hometown, and that's gone. Right. So there's quite a few gone. Richard said, yes, June, the original VHS.
Right,
fantastic.
Right.
Have you still got your VHS video player? Because we do.
We've got one.
We still got one. I've not used it for donkey's years, but we do have one.
Do have
I have got rid of most of my VHSs, by the way, which I didn't want to do, but I had so much clutter. I will cry if one day they said, "Oh, if you've got these VHSs, they're worth a fortune." Because I went, no, because I chucked the lot out.
I've still got a few VHS videos.
Richard said, in London, people walk past you fast speeds. It's so unreal. Tell me about it. The number of times I've gone to point and someone just brushes past you, you think, whoa.
Yeah,
Personal space.
I don't really like going into London on the weekend because it's like so packed. It's so packed. We do go. But I don't really enjoy it because there's so many people and there's queues for everything.
Well, Richard will back us up on this. It was on my birthday because I took the day off. That was on Tuesday, the 10th of May. And I was shocked. We were shocked how quiet it was if you go into town during the week. So that's something I definitely want to do, is book another day off before the summer term and for us to just go and enjoy. I really do want to do that because that was so nice. So we will look to do that again.
Although we did have Boon Chic on your birthday, and it doesn't matter what time you go Boon Chic, there's always a queue.
Boon Chic, but that shows it's popular.
There's a queue. It doesn't matter. There's
again,
a queue.
If you are in Charing Cross Road, it's written Bunsik, Bunsik, but it's pronounced Boonshik. Thank you, Gloria, who told us how it's pronounced. Yeah, Boonshik. She said it's, and Gloria lives in Singapore, so she said she knows that. Obviously, she knows it, the pronunciations. So it's pronounced Boonshik, but there is a Boonshik in Charing Cross Road. Highly recommend it. Delicious Korean corn dog. Karen said we used to have one in the Bentals Centre in Kingston.
That's Disney store.
Yeah, exactly. And again, now gone. So they have shut a lot of them. Zena said, Richard, if do you have a YouTube channel? He does. He does have a YouTube channel.
Yes, he does.
Karen
Richard's
said,
Adventures.
Yes. Karen said, I'm not sure if it's still there. I don't think so, Karen, only purely because Disney did this massive cull of all their shops. We'll have to do a little Google.
We haven't been to Kingston for a long time, actually.
We must do that actually again, because that was a really nice day out.
I remember I had a friend who went to uni in Kingston, and I've been to Kingston many times, and the last time that I went to Kingston was when we got together.
Yeah, so that's a long time ago.
Goodness, about 10 years.
Yeah. Richard said, I had to get another VHS player because mine broke. Only £10 original replacement. Do you know what? Because I thought they'd be a bit of collector's items now, because I do know with they stopped selling VHS players completely. Must have been about 10 years ago now. Maybe slightly less than that.
I've not looked, so I don't even know.
Yeah, but I always just assumed that you would have to go and get it on eBay, and you're always going to get someone who's going to charge some ridiculous amount of money. But I used to have an old gaming console many years ago, so a Nintendo 64, and I gave it away because I kept moving and I was renting places. I made so much rubbish, I just gave them away, and I bitterly regret it because it's worth a lot of money. But that's just the way they are. The gaming consoles do sort of go, and then they come back into retro.
You can't collect everything.
No, you can't
collect everything.
You can't.
You know, it would be nice if we had, but the map. I mean, we hoard a lot anyway.
Yes,
like we've got a lot.
As you can see, all the junk, even behind you is the junk.
And we're always collecting something, and then in my mind, I just think, well, you can't collect everything. You cannot collect everything. We don't have the space to collect.
If we were to take you round, you would be shocked. So we probably best not. We don't.
Yeah.
But because Kelly's always got her little Harry Potter things here, and I've got
my ears, or
you've
got all your Tintin stuff,
my junk, and all stuff like that. So we
Ghostbusters stuff.
We do when we do go to these places. So I was a big Tintin fan as a kid. Loved it. So when we went to Belgium, which is where Hergé, who writes the Tintin books, was lived and based, and that's where he wrote the books. They had a Tintin museum there, which I really wanted to go to. So I dragged poor Kelly around. But I bought loads and loads of posters as well in the original French language, which I really wanted to do. So that was good as well.
And then you bought all the action figures.
Yeah, all the little bits, and I've got so many of them now, and then they all clutter because
He's got an Iron Man bust.
Yeah, and so a lot of junk.
Yeah,
it's nice talking point though. Whenever we get builders around, or something, they'll go. The guy will come up to me and go, "Saw your Iron Man bust in there." I said, "Oh yeah, what do you think?" He goes, "Yeah, massive fan of Marvels, massive fan of Marvels." Where did you get? And they always said, "Where did I get it? How much did I pay for it? Could I get one?"
I remember when we were selling the other house and people were looking around. It was really the house was tiny. There was no space for anything, and I remember somebody was going round, and one of the guys goes, "Yeah, obviously the house wasn't for them, but he was saying, oh yeah, but I do like that room up there. I do," because Mark had all of his
action
figures out.
I forget I've got them. So as well, I've got in our spare room, I've got all the photographs, everything just displayed everywhere. So of course, when people come in, especially if they just come and have a look around, or builders and stuff like that, they'll see it there, and then they'll just be mesmerised by it. I never grew up basically, so that's why I bought all this stuff. Richard said, problem is with old VHS players is that new TVs use HDMI. That's right, and that's why you need a SCART transformer. Don't ask Currys, they're dumb. Dumb as an art.
Maplins, you could have probably gotten a sensible answer, but the Maplins have
gone
into administration now, which is such a shame.
The problem is with places like Currys and places like that is that they do tend to get a student. This was an old Ben Elton joke, and he said, if you go into Odd Bins or something like that and ask for a wine, You go up to the person selling, and you said, he's a 16-year-old. This is just a Sunday job. He hasn't a clue about wine. And to be fair, he's 16, 17. But you ask him anyway, what's the best Chardonnay to have with a... And you think, he'll just go,
in the age of Google.
And he'll just go and go, this one says... I think we did that in the States. I think we popped into... not CVS, what's the name of the other? Walgreens.
Oh, right.
And I think I asked for something as well. And bless her, the poor woman, she didn't have a clue. All she was doing was going on the back of... I said, what's good for insect bites and stuff like that, thinking it's a proper pharmacist. She's going, this one says it's all right. Oh, no, this one doesn't. Oh, this one says, all right, it's okay, it's all right. If you're just going to do that. I was blessed. She was being nice. I thought to myself, well, I'll read it myself.
I went into Bath and Body Works, which is like a little bit like, what's the one? Body Shop. It's a little bit like Body Shop, sort of. And, well, Body Shop before, what it used to stand for, was really good. But Body Shop now is not, for me anyway, it's not like it was before. Anyway. So this Bath and Body Works, a little bit like the newer Body Shop, not the old type Body Shop. And I said, oh, yeah, I want something without any parabens. And she goes, oh, what is it, because you're allergic? No.
Just say yes.
There are things that parabens cause that are not quite good. And so I was looking for more organic and stuff, but they didn't really sell that sort of thing there.
Well, not only that. So one person knew and said, no, we don't have it here. But others are like, paraben. I don't think this one does. You think it's okay if you're just going to read it, I can do that. But it's nice that they do that. Wow. Now, before I get onto Karen's comment, he even said, yes, you guys have the potential to be hoarders. I think potential is long gone. That ship has sailed. We are hoarders. I think we've just had to accept that fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's it now. We just accept it.
We just accepted we are.
Luckily, we're not ones that... Yeah, although, and maybe at some point it could be trailing all over the floor or something.
Oh, yeah, one day. I think if we get to a stage where we have to climb something to get through to live,
then we know we've got the problem.
We've got a big problem. We have to call somebody in. Karen said, I was born in Kingston, in the house where my mum lives now.
Oh, wow.
I have never moved out of the area, had my children and my grandchildren all in Kingston. All live close by. Oh, wow. Do you know what? That's really nice, actually, because it's the fact that you're all in that vicinity.
Oh, that's the shopping.
Oh, that's the shopping. I've got to go.
He's going to go. I heard them knock on the door. I'm thinking, So he's going to go grab a shopping. Oh, I didn't see the guy turn up. But yeah, he's knocked on the door. So he's there. So, yeah, I mean, in where I live, pretty much all of my family. But I actually I was born in Battersea originally. And a lot of my family also lived, they lived in Vauxhall, some lived in Camberwell, and we lived in Battersea. And then slowly but surely, we moved out because, my mum didn't want to live in a flat anymore. She wanted to live in a house, and, my aunt was the same. So because when you live in London, you tend to live in a flat. There are houses about, for sure. But you tend to be in a flat when you're in London. So my mum just didn't want to be in a flat. But my grandparents were quite happy in the flat. So they lived in a flat in Vauxhall. And, they lived there for many, many years. But then eventually, when my gran was no longer around, a couple of years after that, then my granddad wanted to move closer to his daughters. And so, my mum helped him, and we got a house sort of just so my mum, I pretty much lived in a road that sort of came off my mum's road. I don't live there now, but originally, when I was sort of like living with my granddad, looking after him and stuff like that, so we lived in a road that was just off of my mum's road. And then I met Mark, and then Mark moved in, and then we were sort of like together there, and then we left, and then now I live about 15-20 minutes away. And I think that it's nice to live 15-20 minutes away because it's not close enough that someone's going to come every day, but it's also not too far when you want to just pop in, go for a visit, or if we're doing like a family barbecue or parties, 20 minutes for everyone it's a nice thing so that everyone can come and visit you and all of that type of stuff. And so I think we might be doing our first little get together. So normally every year I do a barbecue, or we do a barbecue every year, a family barbecue, and everybody comes to the family barbecue. But obviously for the last few years we've not done anything. Our garden is quite a big garden, so it's nice to have everybody round and everyone's just hanging out in the garden and all of that. So I think this time we might be having our first one this year. It won't be a family barbecue, it won't be anything as big as that, because there's like more than 40 of us now. So I don't know if I will do anything as big. So I think it'll be quite scaled down. It'll just be a small thing. And just to start us off before I start. And I think then maybe later on in the year or next year, that's when I'll start up the family barbecues again, I think. But yeah, so it'd be interesting. But what I want to do, because it's going to be obviously the Queen's Jubilee, I've been thinking about doing something for the Queen's Jubilee. And what I want to do, I wanted to really try to make that pudding, but I'm not going to make everything from scratch. I don't think I can make amaretti biscuits from scratch and then make, the custard from scratch and then make the curd from scratch and then make the Swiss roll from scratch and all of this. I feel like it would take you 2 days, because you have to wait for the jelly to set. That's 3 hours in itself. So basically, after you've made all the Swiss rolls and everything, you wait for them to cool down and then you roll them and then you cut them and whatnot. And then you have to pad out the bottom of the bowl and the sides, sort of bottom and sides, and then sort of fill the gaps. Then you're filling it with, I think it's the lemon curd that they do. I think it might be the jelly. Yeah, the jelly. Then you leave it in the fridge for 3 hours. And I'm thinking, but you have to but also you're making the jelly from scratch, and then you're making the coulis from scratch, and then you're making the custard. I said, oh, that's too much making from scratch. So I think I'm going to attempt it, but I'm going to use good ingredients, but the stuff that is already made, kind of thing, rather than trying to make things from scratch. It would take too long. And if you're doing other things for the day, there's other prep that you need to do, especially if you're doing something like, if you decided to do a brunch or a barbecue, there's so many marinades to do, there's so much prep to do. You're getting all the furniture ready, and because we have to get up super early, wash down all because they would have been sitting in the shed, and so we get up early in the morning, we wash everything down, we sort of like clean everything up and all of that type of stuff. I'm in the kitchen sort of putting on baked potatoes and making marinade. Well, I'd make the marinades the night before and let the meat marinate overnight and things like that. But there's just so many things to be getting ready. Like, I put out bins, and so like we've got like these 3 bins, and so I have one for recycling, one for general and all of that, one for food. And we hope that people will do the recycling, the general, and do you know what I mean, the food. But people don't, but we try. I try to make it as best as I can. Do you know what I mean? And things like that. So there's so many things to do that I don't have time to make everything from scratch for the trifle. That's crazy. But I am going to try it, and I want to see how it turns out. I've got a little trifle bowl, so it's only a small one. And so I'm going to see. I've also got some desserts that I want to try out anyway, some cakes and things. And I think for the last barbecue, I don't think I baked anything, but like I bought a couple of cakes, and then people brought cakes as well, which was really nice. So it was really nice to sort of like, we had like a whole table of cake at one point. So let me put my glasses on and see what everyone's written. What surprises have you bought in your shopping today? So let me just read Richard's one before. I was born in Upper Ilford in Essex at the time, now a London borough. Yeah. Do you know what? But I remember when they were doing, because Essex never existed before. Essex never existed, and neither did Milton Keynes. And I remember when they were doing Essex and stuff like that. Or did Essex always exist, and then you just got to know about it? But I remember because Milton Keynes didn't exist, and I remember they were trying to sell property, very much like Canary Wharf when Canary Wharf didn't exist, and then all of a sudden it existed, and they were trying to sell flats and things like that for Canary Wharf. London Borough, then lived Forest Gate East, London, and now I live in Chigwell, back in Essex. Right. So do you feel like Essex is calling you back? Do you feel like Essex is your manor? What surprised how I bought in the shopping today? So I bought Harkins pina colada ice cream. I hope it turns up. I also bought some fruit bread because we really go through quite a lot of fruit bread here. And do you know what? It's just nice as a snack with a cup of tea, a buttered fruit bread. It's really nice. What else? I bought some strawberries, and I bought some tangerines. I bought some grapes. I bought some Florentines. Do you know what? I got quite a few bits of goodies. I bought some sour cream because there's a cake that I want to make, and you need sour cream for the cake. And then what else did I get? I got quite a few things because the shopping was expensive. So I did get quite a few things. And then tomorrow shopping is expensive as well. Oh my God. And so basically Mark bought a lemon curd from Fortnum's. And because I want to do a mock trifle, because I just want to test it and see how it goes before I make the actual one. I added what do you call it, lemon curd, like Tesco's finest lemon curd. I added that to the shopping, and then I couldn't get any Amaretti biscuits. So Marks and Spencer's had no Amaretti biscuits, and neither did Tesco. And so I thought, do you know what? I'll substitute it with. I'm doing this because it's the crumbly. I'm going to do a Biscoff. So I've just got some Biscoff biscuits, and I'll crumble. That's the closest sort of thing that I could think of that would be for Amaretti biscuits. I've also ordered meringue. Mark loves meringues, like really likes them. So I might crumble a little bit of meringues and put the meringues in the trifle as well. Karen shopping is fun. This time I managed a vlog on that. Oh, did you? Oh, I see. What did you get for your shopping, Richard? Yes, it's nice. We do not live in each other's pockets. Yeah, we all lead our own lives, but we are all very close. So it's very much like my family. We're all very close, and we don't see each other all the time because I grew up very close with my cousins. Like every Sunday we'd have to go to my grandparents because my grandparents, they had three, so it was the three girls, and then obviously the three girls have married their husbands and then all had children, and so we would all be in my grandma's two bedroom flat, all of us, sort of there. And I remember my stepdad would, make us breakfast and things like that, and so we'd always have a cooked breakfast when we were there. And it was always, my grandparents, they used to cook for everybody for the weekend. So then obviously my mum and the sisters and the husbands would all eat because my grandparents would have cooked food and all that. And my granddad was a really good cook. So then they would all eat at my grandparents. But yeah, we're all very close, but we don't get to see each other as often as probably we would have when we were younger. Now that everyone, especially with the grandkids, and obviously me counting, we've all got our partners, and my cousins have got their kids and stuff like that and their jobs. I know that my cousin, I'm quite close with my younger cousin, and Mark and my younger cousin, they're both studying at the moment, so they have quite a lot in common. So when they talk, they're always chatting about their studies and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's nice to see that we all have different relationships with each other, if that makes sense. So some of us are closer than others. We're all close, but some of us are closer than others. And even though we don't get to see each other all the time, whenever we talk or whenever we meet, it's like no time has passed. Does that make sense? So we're all just chit-chatting as if I had just seen them yesterday or something like that. Joined with Belle. Richard's dear joined with Belle. That's nice. Tory party, Death Tube Blacks. I don't know what that is. Tory party. Well, Essex always existed. Essex was a kingdom. Oh, really? hence the term United Kingdom. There was loads of kingdoms like Sussex, Kent, and Essex, and so on. I did not know that. I knew like Sussex and Kent, but I didn't know about Essex. Wow, 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 wow. Is everyone's sound okay? Is there a problem with the sound? The microphone's on and everything, so I hope everything's okay. Let me just double check my mic. Yeah, there is. I do have another microphone and stuff like that, which when I learn how to use it, because it's an XLR, it's got an XLR cable, so without boring you, normally you have sort of different plug-in ones. Do they call the not HDMI? Do they call it HDMI cable? Anyway, they're cables that plug directly into the laptop. But this one is an XLR cable, so it's normally something that you use like for your speakers or something. USB, that's the word I was looking. So basically, everything is a USB. Has a USB plug. So the microphone has a USB plug. The camera has a USB plug, and the mouse has a USB plug. So they plug directly in. But there is another sort of like a microphone and everything that I bought, but it goes into a recording system and then an interface system, should I say. So it goes into an interface system, and then that interface system, I think, then plugs into the laptop. It should give a better sound. I don't know if it does, but once I learn how to use it, then I'll hook it all up. So hopefully it will be a better, clearer sound. No, the sound is cracking. Right. Okay. So Evelyn says, yeah, it's cracking. Okay, hold on a sec then. Let me see. I don't know which one is the... Okay, so I think that one is the mouse. I believe